Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Yes, it's your turn now, finally. You probably don't know because most of you probably didn't go there, but some of you did. I had to call y'all out because when I went to do the Aries reading a couple days ago, I went to pull out the card that should have been Aries and it was you. I was like, where's Aries? Taurus, like, I need my reading now. So here we are. We're here for your reading, Taurus. We're just looking at energy. Just looking at your energy. I'm going to use my energy oracle deck. You're thinking, you're contemplating. And then I'm going to use a tarot deck I haven't used in a little while. It's the Fountain Tarot. Oh, you're thinking and contemplating and you are not involving your emotions in these thoughts with the Eight of Cups. It's very interesting, very strategic. Then we have the teeny tiny Rider-Waite with the star at the bottom. So success, perhaps. And let's get started. So I'm just going to start with this, see what goes with it. Bovine babies, here we go. Here we go. All right, Taurus. What's going on with Taurus? What's going on with them? It's finally their turn. Oh, I'm stuck in my hand. The second chakra, something very creative. Ooh, okay. I'm immediately getting almost like something that has almost been like a little tiny seed inside of you for a long time. And this is something that it's more like a little yearning but very creatively, you know? It's like a part of you that you knew was there, but the opportunity for it to be explored hadn't occurred. And it's almost like that's starting to blossom, like you're starting to kind of feel it inside you somehow. Hey, look at, isn't that funny? Look at, I have the same color. I have like this yellow gold on today. And you got the second chakra, like this yellow golden. But it's like a little seed that's starting to blossom inside of you. But again, it just feels like something that you've not explored about yourself. But it's like you kind of knew it was there. I don't know if you would like consciously know and be able to describe what this is. It's more like a feeling. And again, it's an intimate space, the second chakra. The house of the soul. So it is something that in a way you're destined to open up in this lifetime. And I feel like, you know, you're feeling that. You're feel it like almost like it's starting to blossom, I guess. Yeah. Wow. That's a big blossom. Oh my gosh. Caring connections, angel of love, and door to romance. Oh my God. That's very specific. So for some of you, this might be romantic. If it's not like a romantic partnership with someone, this is definitely like at least getting together with. So okay, however this is going to unfold, this is definitely something for you that it's got romance like all over it. So it just could be, you know, like really diving into life. You don't have to be practical here. This is all about how you feel and just like going off. Isn't the, you know what? We're going to see what color the sky is when we wake up this morning. What is the sunrise showing us? And then that's what we're going to do. Like that's the chakra we're going to explore. Like it has this very kind of like free loving energy. But I definitely feel like it is you with someone else. Now, if it's kind of like on the typical romantic energy, it kind of feels like wanting to open up a part of yourself that you've not opened up to other people before or to anyone before. You are being guided towards something here. I'm going to say, I almost feel a little bit like these cards are coming out to tell you what your energy, like what's going on around you, you know, whether if you're aware of it or not. Because the angel of love is always guiding you, is taking you towards something, and it's got a caring connection and the door to romance. So this angel of love is perhaps also working on mending something in a caring connection for you as well. But there's a sense of, you know, you have to be vulnerable with this. You have to kind of put yourself out there to do that. I can see the urgency now. Like I had the urgency for this reading. Oh, goodness. What's going on? All right. All right, let's put one card to the second chakra, and then I'm going to pull out a bunch of cards to give us kind of like a storyline. Oh, this deck is shuffling so nicely. Okay. Oh, that's too many cards. This second chakra for Taurus. Wow, the 5 of Coins. Well, that's curious, because this is not the energy that I would pick up as an underline with the door to romance, the angel of love, and the caring connections. There's a lot of vulnerability in this energy, like a ton. The second chakra is like the chakra that I would say is the most vulnerable place here in you. And then the 5 of Pentacles is kind of about being vulnerable somehow, like being out in the cold, being on the outside looking in, not having the same sort of resources that other people around you might be having here. This is being in a very vulnerable position. But what is this? I don't know. So I don't know, maybe if you're feeling like a lot of lack in terms of the people around you or the connections that you've had around you, perhaps that's coming to a change. Like, I always say the underlying to me is like why we're here for the reading. That's the reason for the reading. So that's kind of the reason we're here. Spirit wants to talk to you. And there's a real sense of vulnerability, being on your own here, being out in the cold, being disconnected from warmth. And getting that, again, the whole scenario about, you know, a drop of blood and its journey through our body, and always thinking of like the heart is home to the drop of blood, right? But it has a mission, it has a job. So it gets oxygenated through the heart, pumped out, but at some point, like sometimes that drop of blood, not on every journey, right? Depends where it goes. I don't know if it's completely random or how that happens. Sometimes a drop of blood just could go like to the fingertips and back. It's not too far from the heart, or it just could go up to the brain and back. But there's the odd time that this drop of blood goes on a journey to the big toe. And it's so far away from the heart. I want to say it's probably one of the furthest extremities that blood could travel to and be far away from the heart. Now, of course, the journey of blood is much faster than a lot of journeys that we go through. But I think it's quite symbolic of kind of like the 5 of Pentacles at times. And I'm picking that up because when you're moving, the drop of blood is moving away from the heart, right? It's the sound of the heart, that connection to the heart. All of the signals that exist that the drop of blood, if it has consciousness, would say, oh, I'm close to heart, I'm close to the home, I'm close to home base, I'm close to source, right? So bear with me, because like it's like they're never disconnected from source. You see how they're like sitting in this cold gray building and it looks very cold and isolated, but there is still some light that gets through. It's almost like you're never disconnected 100% here from source. And that drop of blood isn't. But boy, it certainly feels like at the point where you get to just before you're going to come around the big toe and start coming back, that's the farthest part of the journey. And it's probably the darkest, the loneliest, the quietest point in the journey, because it's as far away as it could get from the heart. But it's still not disconnected from source. So I'm here to tell you, I think you're coming around the big toe. I think you're coming around the big toe. And I think you've hit the point of the darkest stage of some sort of cycle, a stage where you may feel the most disconnected from some sort of energy here that could be really creative. It could have something to do with intimate connections around you. Yeah, you're coming around a big toe, baby. Because this is an underline, tells me, oh, it's almost like returning to the heart. This drop of blood is returning to the heart, to be oxygenated, to be fed. And as you get closer and closer, it's like you become more and more aware and witness to this happening, like seeing yourself coming out of this cycle. I was at the bottom after talking about all that. The Tower. Oh, the Tower and the Devil. Wow. You know, perhaps being, going towards the big toe, the drop of blood, like, is also feeling like more and more depleted, because the oxygen that it was carrying is being utilized by the body, and it's got to come back and get reoxygenated. And there's a lot of things that could go on in that little drop of blood's mind. Like, oh, I'm going so far away, I'll never come back. This is the end of me. You know, it's like devil, but it's the Tower. The devil is, it's almost like the devil being dismantled. So it could be a toxic cycle, a negative cycle, some sort of difficult cycle. So let's pull some cards out, and then we are going to go and pull cards out for every one of your underlying. All right, 7 of Coins, 7 of Cups, the Lovers. Always reminds me of a sundog. Interesting. The King of Wands. Under the 7 of Coins, well, we have this Queen of Wands. The King and Queen of Wands here. So two very, I want to say like two very creative, self-governed energies. Very independent too. The 7 of Cups, the World, the Lovers, the 5 of Cups, the King of Wands, the Devil. The 2 of Cups is at the bottom. That doesn't surprise me. That kind of feels like the energy that I would probably pick up with that. So your underline in both these decks, you have the 2 of Cups, and then you have Caring Connections, Angel of Love, and Door of Romance. Seven of Coins with the Queen of Wands. I'm gonna put my glasses on. Woo! 7 of Coins with the Queen of Wands. 7 of Cups with the World. Well, right there, this feels like some sort of creative journey that had to be replanned many times here with the 7 of Coins. But this person looks like they're making a decision about something. Like he's picking up, he looks like little Cabbage Patch doll heads to me. You know, these little cabbages from the earth. And then, right, like the 7 of Cups in the World is almost, to me, I mean, it's saying that there's some area of confusion, of illusion here that comes to an end. It feels like taking a creative chance to pick something up, make a choice or a decision out of a lot of potential ideas here. Make a choice or a decision out of a lot of potential ideas here. The Lovers and the 5 of Cups, though. The Sundog. And the King of Wands and the Devil. See, what's really curious is that the Queen of Wands, you can see like her arms are out in the open. She's really kind of open and expressive. But this King of Wands is curious because he's kind of hiding. right? And the devil is sitting under it. I only have one other deck where the King of Wands is a little bit similar, and he's standing behind his throne as opposed to sitting in the chair of it. And this is also curious, like standing behind something. It's almost like someone trying to hide their toxic thoughts. Trying to hide, because, right, with the five, this, and that had the devil. So there's something about, I want to say, a situation or a scenario that you're involved in that's causing, wow, it could be, because the Five of Cups under the Lovers. See, this almost looks like having, what's the best word to use here? Having unhealthy or self-defeating thoughts about perhaps relationships. There's a dramatic change right here in these cards, how they're laying out. Like, this is all sunshiny, and even the Seven of Cups, like, it's very soft, light pastels. And in the world, it's almost a combination of these darker cards and this lightness over here. This is very light. And it's almost like if I was to divide this evenly, I mean, the Queen of Wands is on this side and the King of Wands is on that side. It's like the King of Wands has these dark thoughts of regret. But the Queen of Wands is sort of, I guess, negotiating through a lot of different choices. I mean, this could be you and someone close to you. Definitely two people showing up on this board, this table. Like two people, and two people, the King and Queen of Wands. I'm not sure who you are. I don't know. You could be either one of these, to be honest. It looks like, though, I feel a little bit like you're the one on the dark side. But you can flip the energy if it suits, you know, what you know your life is. Because this came out and we're kind of talking about you, but maybe it's something you need to know about someone close to you. I don't know. But it was associated, right, with the Tower and the Devil. So, but the Tower and the Devil is taking that down. So there might be something over here. It's you know, it's funny, like it could even be, like it could be siblings. You and a sibling, the energy between you and a sibling, you and a family member, you and a parent. It's a little more strongly than anything, though, like something perhaps romantic. Let's see what the clarifiers say. Like, this to me looks like closing off a cycle on this side of the energy, closing off a cycle of, you know, deciding exactly what choice to make here. Because there's a choice that's made. Feels like it. I don't know if this is opening or closing a cycle here. Let's go over here. Why is the King of Wands hiding? What's he hiding? The Nine of Cups. All right. He's focusing on some sort of a dream. Protecting emotional sovereignty. Okay, well, the Devil. Is he protecting this from the Devil? The Devil. The Death card. Okay. This King of Wands is protecting kind of their own emotional health here from something toxic. Interesting. The Lovers. Actually, before I see what the clarifier is, we're talking about that. And look at how, I'll see how that, I don't know if you're familiar with what a sundog is. You can look it up. It's interesting how those two are kind of protected by this, I guess it's a energy, light. They connect within something protected and sacred. What came out with the Lovers? The Page of Pentacles. Can you tell me anything else? Why is the Page of Pentacles here with the Lovers? The Lovers, the Three of Cups, the Lovers twice. Okay, because we have the Devil and whatnot around here, it really, the page feels like a very, like, kind of learning in a very innocent and divinely guided way here to find the means, the environment, the situation that I feel like supports this dream, like keeping it innocent, keeping it protected. Again, it's a very vulnerable area. I feel like the King of Wands, and maybe even with these two cards, we're going to link this to both, and each one is going to tell the story in this in a different way. So I feel like the King of Wands, I got one more card to clarify, is there's something going on here that's energy or a feeling that perhaps not found or experienced or had the opportunity to explore before, and trying to keep the purity of that experience, trying to keep the purity of the potential of that experience, trying to keep it safe from something here. I don't know what it is. I'm not being told what this Devil is, but right, like waiting for the end of that for a rebirth. The Five of Cups. The Seven of Wands, the Six of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. This dude is watching over here. I'm noticing that really now. Why, the Five of Cups guy, I mean, this is a very masculine area over here. And then this is obviously very feminine. And this masculine energy is looking over here at the Queen of Wands. So there's almost like some sort of regret here, but I want to say holding a boundary, the Seven of Wands and the Six of Wands to the King of Pentacles, holding a boundary to achieve some sort of successful outcome here. Okay, second chakra and Five of Coins as it relates to the King of Wands. The Six of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so, right, the 5 to the 10 of coins. That's definitely going in the right direction. So, it does have that feeling of being at the end of the toe. Being in the darkest area. Being at the most difficult time. It can't get much darker. And then you come around. Because, you're being led by that vein or artery, whatever it is. And it is the universe leading you away from that difficult time into prosperity and abundance here and a real stability. This is not a vulnerable position to be in. Okay, so I'm going to keep those over there on that side of the King of Wands. Now, I want to use another clarifying deck. I'm going to keep this to clarify the underline, but I want to use a different clarifying deck so I have a full set of tarot cards. Oh, over here. For the Queen of Wands. Just picking up these little cabbages here. Little cabbage heads. The 7 of coins. The 7 of coins. Why is the 7 of coins here? The 7 of coins. Ooh, the Ace of Wands, the Chariot, and the Knight of Wands. Wow, okay. This is very fiery. The Queen of Wands is on fire. We'll say that, okay? This is really utilizing creative energy, picking up what's going to make movement here. Picking up what's going to give or allow drive to creation here. Whatever that creation is, I'm not sure. It's very strong. Like the Queen of Wands is absolutely utilizing 100% Queen of Wands energy. Now, it's interesting though, because the King of Wands is not. If he is in any way, it's to protect a boundary, to achieve some sort of success. So it feels a little more like tight, right? Which makes a lot of sense because he's hiding behind something and he's got the devil. But the Queen of Wands, right? Her arms are open out like this and all of this flowing, moving, creative, intent, wand energy. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. The Tower, the Moon, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so the Queen of Wands is dismantling something. That's the Tower and the Devil. Oh, she's dismantling. Oh, now this has the energy of, because the Tower was associated with the Devil, right? When we just looked at the underline when this came out. So that's why I like to see how these cards continue to speak to us and connect the dots. The Queen of Wands is like shooting in rockets here with the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands, picking up the right bombs. I don't know. It's like to dismantle something here. The Tower, the Moon, and the Ace of Cups. It's certainly, but dismantling this, it destroys any illusions with the Moon. If anything looked too scary to face head on, you realize it was all in your head. Because this cat's reflection is just enormous compared to the actual cat. And actually feels really good. Like you feel so much better after it. It's like, it feels like something much more, I guess, monumental in one's life. But depending on how big or old you are. It's almost like a kid had a big bad boo-boo. Like the King of Wands had a big bad boo-boo on his knee or something. And he's had this Band-Aid on it for the longest time. And it's time to take the Band-Aid off so that the wound, like air, oxygen, can really get to it and it can heal properly. No, right? The 7 of Wands. Like there's something here about that. And Queen of Wands is coming in and like no holds barred, I would say. With the Ace of Wands, the Chariot, and the Knight of Wands. Like this is striking while the coal is hot. It's like sitting beside the King of Wands and saying, oh yeah, it's time to remove the Band-Aid. What? And rip the fucker right off. Like just ripping it right off. But the whole time, anytime like trying to go in and say, okay, let's sit down together and we need to talk about the Band-Aid. You need to pull it off now. It's time to take it off. No. Don't take it. Don't touch it. Like all this drama almost that would come in. It's all this devil and 5 of Cups. No. And it may be running away from the Queen of Wands. She's going to take that Band-Aid off. I don't want to feel it. No. At the minute the Band-Aid comes off, it's like, oh my God, that feels so much better. This Band-Aid, I want to say, would represent some sort of an elephant in the room for you. So it's almost like something that is so obvious, it needs to be dealt with and addressed, but nobody wants to look at it. Well, at least, I don't know. I'm not sure what. The Queen of Wands is looking at it. Look at this. Let's pull it off. So the 7 of Cups. That was like talking about a lot. Why did this jump back in? The Knight of Cups. All right. That's not the way forward, okay? Because it feels like there's a lot of choices and decisions to make over here. Why did this jump so aggressively over to the King of Wands area? Three of Wands, the Empress, and the Ten of Wands. The King of Wands trying to bring her in. Trying to bring her, I want to say now I feel like this is you. Or maybe this is, I don't know, because it could be this. We're talking about the Seven of Cups, and it's supposed to be connected to the Queen of Wands. It is figuring out how to bring in, with the Three of Wands, how to bring this in. It's coming in, baby. But it's coming in with a lot of baggage. Oh. Like this King of Wands is hiding. He's protecting something kind of sacred within himself, so it can be explored in a really pure, innocent way, or it can be achieved or attained. Sorry, this is supposed to be over here. So why that jumped so aggressively? And then the Six of Cups landed on the World, and it was reversed. So it almost is like the end of some sort of cycle with a particular person or particular group of people. But the Queen of Wands is the one with the Seven of Cups. So she's the one with a lot of choices. I want to say a lot of illusions to dismantle as well. And she's doing it. She's like lighting it up though. I mean, she is. And the World. It's funny because the Six of Cups in reverse landed on that. That just speaks very, very strongly to me, like ending a certain connections, ending a part of your life, like something from your past. And you know, it's funny, the Magician came out in the reverse too. So there could be some manipulation that's being dealt with that if the Magician in the reverse to me would be very manipulative. Also, like just not working to manifest something here. This is a really interesting story. Okay, second chakra and the Five of Coins for the Queen of Wands. Wow, the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Wands. This is like giddy up and go after a really difficult ending. All right, not done yet, Taurus. Woo! I'm kind of glad I had a day off before doing your reading. Was not prepared for this. Okay, the other thing I want to touch on here is if the Queen of Wands is confused about her choices, I want to say she looks like a pretty good choice here. She's a fiery little pistol, this one. And she or he, like whatever you are, it's just easier for me that way. Because we have a masculine and feminine on either side of the board, the table. Her choices here, it looks like to me, this is someone with an enormous amount of abundance with the Empress, right? I want to say there's perhaps some apprehension on the Queen of Wands' part about bringing in new things. You know, because the Ten of Wands, look at this. It's like, hey, carry my burden, honey. You look like you could carry a lot of burdens. Here, can you hold on to my troubles? Can you help me with this project? And the Three of Wands, it's like what comes in. So you could almost look at this too, as it could be two sides of yourself even. Because the King of Wands, I want to say, ain't nothing coming in that he don't want to come in. He's ended perhaps something of difficult energy, the Devil. Done that, been there, done that. And I want to say, like the Queen of Wands is dealing with a difficult energy. And I'm we're bringing in this shit. Like, what is this shit? I'm going to burn it down. So she's like, I'm going to burn it down. I'm going to dismantle it. I'm going to continue to use two different clarifying decks. So we'll go back to the King of Wands. Interesting. All right. Let's see how this looks. Caring connections for the King of Wands here. Caring connections. Murphy. Ace of Wands. Excited. Nine of Swords. Knight of Cups. Five of Swords. King of Wands. All right. King of Wands knows a lot about his wand. Pretty solid, but what is this? Okay. The King of Wands, right? And you got the Ace of Wands with caring connections. The King of Wands has a very good sex drive. I will say that. A very good creative drive, if you want to make it that. But the Nine of Swords is here. And it's like, that cannot be the way forward. There's something here. Like there's an anxiety about that. About perhaps physical desire and feelings here. And then the Knight of Cups comes in, right? Like it's almost like, so this caring connections, but then that gets cut out. And then the King of Wands. This is like having two feelings at once and not being sure which one is the one to lead with. So then just sitting there. Lord. So caring connections for the Queen of Wands. Caring connections for the Queen of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles. You got to put the work in. Well, all right. Now, the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Two of Swords. What is caring connections? So, the Queen of Wands is a dream. A dream? But not sure how to bring that forward. Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, right? The King of Wands has got the Nine of Cups. So is the Queen of Wands dreaming of the King of Wands? I don't know. That seems like it's quite possible. With the Eight of Pentacles, could be something like that these people met at work. You met this person at work, or it's like a dream to work on a project with this person. But with the Two of Swords, really, I have no idea. There's no like road ahead to give any indication how that would be achieved. It does feel like the King of Wands has the ball in his or her court, right? And they're sitting on their throne. So. Angel of Love. Let's let the Queen of Wands go first on that one. So the Angel of Love, though, is a separate entity. The Angel of Love is actually like the universe guiding, helping in some sort of situation or scenario. So how's the Angel of Love showing up for the Queen of Wands? Very complicated reading. The Four of Swords, healing her heart. Okay, so an Eight of Cups at the bottom. Walked away from a lot of things. So the Angel of Love is healing the Queen of Wands' heart here. How is the Angel of Love working with the King of Wands? King of Wands cards are the Five of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Okay, it feels like the Angel of Love is helping the King of Wands work through some sort of conflict here. Could be internal. It could be competition. I'm going to just say, I feel like the King of Wands could have a tendency, and it wouldn't be completely disloyal to the archetypal energy of the suit, being the King of Wands. The King of Wands has a tendency for sexual desires, to fulfill those. And it almost feels like the Angel of Love is trying to show him where to do that. Because the Five of Wands and the Eight of Wands, right? So I hope this is making sense to y'all. Like, it's so specific. I don't know, right? Okay, door to romance. But then that's almost like where these two would step in, having been guided by the Angel of Love. Door to romance for the Queen of Wands. Well, one of her cards landed right on her, and the other one landed on the door to romance. Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles. This is a door that's been lost. Like this door, I have no idea where it is, where to find it, how to get there. But, you know, in some ways working on it with the Seven of Pentacles. There's a drive. Okay, I want to say, because her Seven of Pentacles is like all of this drive and like picking directions here, making choices. I don't know that, I feel like the Queen of Wands is kind of somehow being driven to this door to romance, but really is not aware of it. It's almost like the desire and the passion and the creative energy that she's using to make some hard choices and dismantle some illusions are unintentionally leading her there. Because I don't think she's looking for it. All right, the King of Wands, the door to romance. The King of Wands with the door to romance. Okay, the Knight of Swords, the Magician. He's heavy and hot on manifesting this. Justice and the Seven of Cups. I feel like for the King of Wands, this is a very mental, this occupies a lot of mental space with the Knight of Swords and the Magician. I feel like the King of Wands is trying to manifest something with the Queen of Wands. And I don't know, I'm going to be honest, like these could be like, I don't know who you are in this. You could be the King of Wands. You're trying to manifest something to someone you never even met yet. Or maybe you met them briefly somewhere. I don't know. Or you could be the Queen of Wands. And you are, I want to say like not even paying attention to romance. If anything, you're probably trying to break down some relationships that are no longer serving you. And then the King of Wands, I feel like, is in the mental headspace of trying to manifest some justice here emotionally. I feel like the King of Wands could get his physical needs met anywhere he wanted. He'd just go anywhere. Like, it could be a male tart, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so, and you know, it's funny because the King and Queen of Wands are both noted as very attractive people. Am I done here? Oh, the Two of Cups. You're reading. It's got me all over the place. The Two of Cups for the Queen of Wands. What is the Two of Cups for the Queen of Wands? Let's look at that. What is the Two of Cups for the Queen of Wands? The Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles. This is somebody who has good balance in their masculine and feminine, a little stronger on the masculine side, a little more developed on the masculine side. It's very interesting. This is the Queen of Wands. What the Two of Cups is to her, her definition of that, I guess, is a strong leader, but a good heart, a nurturer, somebody who's balanced in many different areas of life. Somebody who, it's so interesting, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles, like that could be like Taurus energy too. So, which is Venus, and the Emperor Mars. Like there's this Mars and Venus here. Like they're looking for real balance in a person. The Queen of Wands is like, this is someone who will step up and do what needs to be done at a time when something needs to be done. Somebody who executes their decisions, but somebody who also takes into consideration, I want to say the consequences of those things too, because anything in Pentacle is kind of how that's showing up in life, but it's very nurturing, very balanced, very stable, perhaps, you know, able to look after themselves too. The Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Ten of Cups. Wow, so that's interesting. So I want to say the Queen of Wands won't let anything in that isn't fulfilling that. All right, what is the Two of Cups to the King of Wands? What is the Two of Cups to the King of Wands? The door to romance. The Queen of Pentacles. Well, that's interesting. These two people are kind of interested in a very similar thing. Feminine. Nurturing, balanced, business smarts, home smarts. Anything else to come out with that? Anything else? Oh, whoa. It's the Queen of Wands. It's like Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so I don't know who you are in this reading, but I feel like the King of Wands knows who the Queen of Wands is. I'm not sure the Queen of Wands does. I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. But literally, it's like somebody, well, Okay. And yeah, now I see that. Was this interesting? The Five of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands. Because we're talking about the King of Wands. I feel like he could have his physical needs met, anywhere. It must be a very attractive person. Sought after, I don't know what it is. But I really get that impression from these cards. And is it okay? So what the King of Wands, the Two of Cups to them, is somebody that is balanced, predictable, nurturing, kind, loving. I want to say financially stable, feminine, all over this. All those things, and really hot in bed too. Yeah, right? So it is. The King of Wands, like, this is somebody who could have a happy home, a stable home, a nurtured home. You can have friends over for dinner, and everything is polite, and it's comfortable. It's a good meal. It's a nice glass of wine. There's good music playing in the background. All of the little things that make life feel, you appreciate the physical of it. I always think like Taurus is one of those signs to me that it's kind of one of the bigger reasons for incarnating on Earth. Like that to me it's like the things that spirit can't feel in this 3 dimension. So it's like the King of Wands, after having a really nice dinner with friends coming over and enjoying all of the sensual parts of life that you can enjoy, that's not an orgy with other people, and then you go in the bedroom and it's crazy, baby. It's crazy. So it is. It's kind of like, what is it? A lady on the streets and a freak in the sheets. Kind of like that. But because the Five of Pentacles is here, I want to say that she saves this for someone special, right? Like, this Queen of Wands is not out doing what he would do. So the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups and the Ten of Cups. Interesting energy. Very interesting reading. I don't know I've ever done a reading like this. Actually, it is. It's kind of, he said, she said. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with my mouth. I had an adjustment a few days ago, and I don't know where my bite is sitting. I don't know where my mouth is working. I'll be glad when this shit is done. Well, so it is so much a he said, she said. Yeah. I'm going to do, what am I doing the extended? No, because I'm leaving that open. Oh, I don't know what decks I'm going to use, but it's going to be a he said, she said over there. So that'll be interesting. And I'm just going to let it flow. So I'm not going to ask any questions in particular. I'm just going to let it flow. Well, Taurus, I can see why you're all in a huff to get in front of Aries if you're done. Thank you so much, my bovine babies. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.